Alright, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a crazy My Thoughts today, so yeah, let's get started. Obviously, you know what it is from the title. I won't fuck around. Welcome to my thoughts on Mass Effect 3, and I gotta say, this game was fucking I don't even know how to describe it. So I've played both Mass Effects, obviously. Going into this, I wasn't really too expecting much. I mean, actually, when I waited like a week or two just to even play it once we had it. I finally did get to sit down with it, and I've been playing it for about a week, maybe, just casually here and there, a couple hours there and there. So, in total, it took me about 30 hours to beat. I think that's a perfect length for a Western RPG. Not too long, not too short. So with that said, let's get it started. Alright, so story. This is definitely what Mass Effect is known for. So you play Captain Shepard, or Commander Shepard, I should say, and you're basically this elite soldier, part of the N7 program, and you become a Spectre. Spectre's being like the government's like, well, like the whole entire like universe government's like agent, basically. You do the secret missions, you do everything. That doesn't really matter in this game. That's just background story. That's background story for fucking. It's just been there for so long, man. I mean, you don't even really care about it anymore. It's weird. So yeah, you're basically Commander Shepard, this really amazing soldier. Everybody respects her. I mean, obviously I play female, so I'm gonna refer to Shepard as a female, okay? Because to me that's what Shepard is. So Shepard is just like this amazing soldier. She does everything. Like, that's the whole point of this game, is you can play either good or bad or neutral. And I mean, I play good usually in every game I play, unless the story sucks, then I generally try to play a little more evil to spice it up a bit, like with Amalur. But this game is just crazy, man. I'll get to the story now. Basically, at the end of Mass Effect 1, this will be a spoiler, you find out about these ancient robots that every so many years they systematically wipe out every planet with intelligence. And what this does is basically it gives them, they're basically, I don't want to go too far into spoilers, let's just say it's happened before, okay, and you find out who it's happened to before and why it's happened before and so on. Your goal, though, is basically at the end of Mass Effect 2 is you're trying to warn everybody that the Reapers are in fact coming. You gotta be prepared and everything. So in this game, you basically start up and you're on Earth hanging out with your old captain and stuff, and you know, basically Earth gets hit by the Reapers like right away. So you're basically in shock pretty much. The military base you're on is getting destroyed. The city is getting destroyed. You basically barely escape, and your goal is to go rally all of the alien races that you know, and basically form an alliance. Get ready to go kick the Reaper's ass, and that's it pretty much. It's so much stuff. I mean, this game probably has over, I don't even know, like over 50,000 lines of dialogue. It's crazy. There's so much dialogue everywhere. I don't think there's a single well, I mean, yeah, there are like data pads and stuff that aren't voiced, but whenever you're interacting with another character, there's voice everywhere. It's awesome. It really doesn't, like, this world feels like a world, you know. It feels really well like established and stuff. So yeah, I don't want to go too far into spoilers. Let's just say that Earth is on the line here. Earth could be destroyed. Humanity could be wiped out. All life could be wiped out. The stakes are extremely high, and it's a really entertaining story. The cool thing about this, though, is they actually, since this is the end of the world, basically, it allows them to do a lot more epic set pieces and a lot more epic moments. Think the final mission in Mass Effect 2. That's basically what inspired this game. Is pretty much every mission is pretty over the top. Running, floors breaking, enemies are like killing other guys and stuff like that. Very over the top set pieces and stuff. Final mission, I gotta say, oh my god, it was crazy. This ending, this is one of those. I'll get to this in a second, but let me say that this story has pretty much everything you really want. It's got sad moments, it's got crazy awesome moments, it's got I don't know, just like comedy moments. Like I don't know. I think it paces it really well. I mean, it's serious, but it's comedy at the same time. And then they do it. They are capable of pulling emotional moments. I'm gonna say this, but some of your characters do die. Some of your party members, which that's awesome. I love death, man. And they pull it off really well with some of the characters. A couple of them not so well, but I mean, it's still a pretty sad event. So with that said, yeah, I definitely think this is the strongest story entry in the series. I loved it a lot. It was never really boring. I'll get to that in a second, the only boring part of the game. But I gotta say this now. Obviously, if you check gaming blogs or gaming websites, news, anything, you've heard all this hate on the ending. Everybody is up in arms about this ending. They're trying to boycott it. There's like a petition to change it. It's ridiculous, and I think that's awesome though, dude. It's creating so much hype around this ending, and just when's the last time you've heard a game cause this much ruckus? Like, I don't think I've ever seen it. Yeah, I don't think I have. Like, you don't see Killzone's ending going like, holy shit, I don't get this ending, you gotta change it. You know, this ending has so many theories based around it. It's crazy. Yeah, with that said, I think those people who are complaining about the story need to shut up and think about it. It's causing this massive event. It's causing a mass effect on the community. But I liked it. I thought the story was definitely the best in the series. I approve of it. Going over to gameplay, obviously if you don't know, Mass Effect is a third-person action RPG. With that, yeah, you basically, it tries to be Gears of War a little bit too much, especially with the rolling now. I can't remember if 2 had the rolling, but this game, I felt like I was rolling into cover a lot more like in Gears, and you know, it feels like they're trying to get in on Gears. You can like, what the hell is that thing called, where you jump over cover and kick a guy? You can do one of those. I don't know. It's really fast paced. I thought this was probably the strongest entry in the gameplay department. I mean, I kind of liked 1 a lot more because it was more RPG focused. Like, every level up, you had to be careful with your stat points because they did affect how your character played out. You know, you could put points into pistol skills. That would make you a lot better with the pistol. So you kind of had to think about what weapon choices you wanted to go with. And abilities, not so much, because usually you'd kind of experiment with the abilities, find which one you'd want the most, and just go with that. This game, though, I pretty much maxed out every single skill, like an ability or whatever. I mainly focused on the pistols, because what they do is they have this weight system now, where depending on how much weight you're carrying into combat, like if you take away your shotgun, that'll take away 50% of your weight carrying. I just stuck with the pistol because it's the lightest, and I love pistols. So my character had 200% plus ability recharge, which means I can recharge my abilities a lot faster. So, you know, I'm an adept because that's the weird thing. I never played adept before, but I wanted to try out the adept because in the previous games I've seen what my partners can do. They basically defy physics, and like they'll throw an enemy up into the air, punch him with an energy blast, and he'll go like spinning across the room, and it's funny shit. So it's really cool. They just basically just upgraded the engine a bit more. They're trying to streamline it a lot more for like newer people and stuff, and I think they did a pretty good job of it. Same engine as the first 2 games. Like I said, it's a little bit faster. As for the gameplay itself, it's fairly straightforward. You have the Normandy, which is your spaceship. You go from planet to planet, well, system to system. Systems are basically areas that have a couple planets in them that you can go to. You can go scan these planets. You can track your progress of which planets you scanned. It'll show like a percentage of how much you've explored. They do keep the harvesting system from the second game, where it's like a spherical view and you shoot a drone down there and it picks up an item. Yeah, with that said, you basically just go from system to system, go to planets, pick up stuff, do quests, go back to the Citadel, have dozens of side quests, no, not even dozens, hundreds of side quests, and you basically get money, you get more backup. The main draw of this game, though, is what you're trying to do is you're starting this alliance, right? So you need basically other aliens to help you. So every time you complete a side quest, you'll get backed up by another fleet. So like, let's say you help out this Torian who's pissed off at the fucking C-Sec for not like letting his unit come back or something. If you go help his unit, then he'll let them go help you in the final fight. So you're doing all these side quests and basically building an army. It's really cool. I mean, it felt a little too easy for me. I guess you only need like 4,000 like resource points by the end of the near the end of the game in order to take the biggest fleet into combat. I had 6,000, so you know I was a little overboard because I was doing every side quest. That brings me into my biggest complaint with the gameplay. The questing. This is the only thing that slows this game down. If this was done better, I think this game would have been a lot better. Alright, so you have not hundreds, well let's just say at a time you have a couple dozen side quests, you know, like 20 quests. You have no indication that that quest needs to be turned in, or it's still an act, like go find this item. And they do give you a little description of what you gotta do, like go find the rune of Kishpa on this system and on this planet. Go get that item, come back, then you go take it to the guy. So generally what I would do is, the Citadel is like 5 or 6 floors. I would go from floor to floor, running around the room, making sure my marker goes off, because there's no indication that this guy has a quest to turn in, or a quest to pick up. So you basically have to rely on the very glitchy, I guess you would say, target indicator. Sometimes it pops up on computers that you can interact with, sometimes it doesn't. So I've walked through areas before with nobody highlighted it all, but then I'll come back like a minute or two later and then they'll pop up. So in that sense, they could have just... I'm trying to think of a game that did it a lot better. I think, yeah, Amalur did it a lot better. When you had a quest turn in, it told you to go turn in the quest. I think the previous ones did too. I could have swore in the previous games, if you clicked on the quest, it would say what part of the quest you were on. Like, you're either on step 1, which is go get the item, or step 2, which is take the item back. That's, like I said, that's the only thing that pisses me off with this game. Is it slows down gameplay drastically. After a mission, you have to go back to the Citadel. Spend another 20-30 minutes just exploring the Citadel, making sure you don't have any quests to turn in, and all that. I will say though that this is pretty cool. They allow you to buy any weapon from any of the stores. You have access to all the stores from the Normandy. So you have no need to really go explore the stores, aside from they give you a discounted price, which it wasn't that noticeable to me. It wasn't worth the wait running around and stuff. Alright, so yeah, that's about it. Like I said, there's battle readiness, which is where you basically, it shows you all your progress, how many fleets you have assembled, your alliance strength, stuff like that. I'm trying to think what else I could say. There's multiplayer in this game. I'm not gonna try to touch too much on this because I have only played like an hour of it. I like it. You basically have these like seven or 5 maps or so like that. It's basically horde mode from Gears of War or Firefight from Halo. You basically have 11 waves of enemies that you either have to kill, disarm bombs, hack objects. Very straightforward. But what they do that's cool is you get resources from clearing things and you level up. You basically, with these resources, you can buy other races and other classes to take in the multiplayer, level those up, and it's just like single player. You have a whole new skill tree that you can level up. Very interesting stuff. And finally, I will talk about the glitchiness of the story. About halfway through the game, once the main area gets attacked, I noticed this game glitched up big time. Like I'd be talking to a guy, he'd be invisible. You know, sometimes quests wouldn't be able to be turned in, stuff like that. I think that like everybody's saying this game could have been in development a little longer. I'm gonna agree with that. They should have gave it another year. That would have polished it drastically to the point where this game could have been Game of the Year, probably this year, which it might be. Who knows? With that said, gameplay I'm gonna approve of though, because it was pretty fun. As for sound, it's got great voice acting again. Soundtrack fits it. I'm not gonna listen to it again, except for maybe a couple songs. That's it for sound. I'm gonna approve of sound just because it does fit the game and the universe so well. Finally, as for positives and negatives, I'm not gonna touch too much on that. I went pretty in depth in those my categories itself. So. Finally, okay, so Mass Effect 3 is a phenomenal game. I think this is a game that everybody who likes RPGs or shooters should definitely check out. Honestly, yeah, I'd say buy it new because it does come with DLC, and you don't really want to buy an online pass, so buy it new. It's definitely worth the money. So with that said, thank you for watching this far. I'm awesome. You're awesome too.
Let her go.
Orders.
Finish her.